So good evening everybody and welcome back to F1 on FTRL. Season 17 is go. This is the start of yet another season of fantastic race action here on FTRL, starting as ever with the Div 1 boys. And we start season 17 at a very damp circuit of the Americas here, the USA circuit, bathed in rain to start the season. So a new game, new cars, new handling model, lots of things to get the grip on for the drivers already. And the game has decided to throw in a little bit of wet weather for them as well. So, as ever, 12 weeks of racing action ahead of us to decide the Season 17 champion. And we are currently watching the reigning champion. Tico is the number one this season. He is the one they all have to beat, as he finally took the F1 Div 1 crown last season. So, lap time starting to come in. On board then with Tico as he does a lap of Coach. In fact, we'll pick up a driver who's just starting. Who's that? Is that Gran starting? No, it is the other Alpine, which means that it is Oxox, who has just in fact gone fastest of all. I need to find somebody who's just coming to start that. One of the Williams is coming around. It is Yarman. Is he going to do a lap? He is. We'll go above Yarman then. So, a lap of Kota. Start finish straight, first DRS zone, down the start finish straight. Active all the way uphill. Of course, it won't be active at the moment, of course, with the wet weather. And this charge up the hill to this blind hairpin. Fantastic views. Switch over to the right hand side and starts plummeting down the hill through this twisty section, very reminiscent of Maggots and Beckett's. Bring it in there, riding the curve nicely on the right, left, right again. Long sweeping right hander over to the right hand side for the left hander, and then again up the hill. Quick change of direction, plenty of curb there, nice and tidy from Yarman so far. A little bit of a slide on the exit, gets the power down now through the left hand kink to the hairpin, which leads us onto the back straight. Apexing nicely there, and onto this long back straight in the dry conditions. Of course, DRS would start there. And this presents one of the best overtaking opportunities on the track. New provisional pole sitter, familiar name, Dutch Tricks, has just threaded himself onto provisional pole, but will stay on board with Yarman as he comes to the end of the back straight. Down the gearbox third for that left-hander. Car twitching as he tries to get the power down. And this tricky double apex right-hander. Nice and done. And over to this tricky left-hander. Bit of a divot in the apex. He hooks it up nicely. Now this 4 apex right-hander, using a sweeping line there into the Brunswick corner, onto the left, a bit of curb there. The car made a bit of a slide, he's gathered it up and then up to the final corner, but he has pulled out of this lap into the pits. Oh, nearly goes straight on, just gets it stopped in time, and that was 99% of a lap of Kota. So then, lots and lots of new things to get our teeth into tonight, but let's go down the current running order then as things stand. With just under 10 minutes to go. Dutch Tricks, familiar name on provisional pole. He is in the Alfa Romeo this season, teaming up with Div 1 admin Tom Duval, looking to claim his 5th FTRL Div 1 title. Can he wrest it back from his countryman? Currently on the provisional pole. Still quite a long way this session to go. Then Oxox up in P2 in the Alpine. He is teaming up with Graham this season. Oxox is a very good driver in these tricky conditions, and he is showing that form once again. Currently provisionally on the front row, although Tico has just knocked him off there as the reigning champ pops himself up onto the head of the timesheets. 42.7, so just 2 drivers into the 42s at the moment. It is our Dutch pairing, Tico and Dutch. Oxox knocked down to the 3rd row, where he currently shares with Yarman, who he just did the on-board lap with in the Williams. He's filling in for Adamako for a couple of weeks. Hopefully he'll find himself a full-time seat really soon. He was very impressive in pre-season, so I'm interested to see how he gets on fighting with the Dutch boys, with CR7, with Scuba. All these drivers here are very capable of winning races this season, so it promises to be one of our best yet. As I say, the Oxox goes on to provisional pole by 0.3 of a second, so Oxox finding time, getting himself a bit of reputation here as a rainmaster. So he is now provisionally on pole position. P5 is CR7. He won the first pre-season, no, he won the second pre-season event at Mexico. He was in the mix in the first one, but then had a bit of a mistake and put himself in the wall. So a man with blistering one-lap speed, and definitely has the potential to win races and win this championship. He needs to hook it all up though. A couple of mistakes just occasionally creeping in. Hopefully he will iron them out of this season. He currently shares through with TRT Lynx. Again, another star driver who's come on leaps and bounds since he's joined FTRL. Definitely in the mix for race wins this season and podiums on a regular basis, I feel and I hope. He has been very close to that win. Hopefully soon it will come his way. He is currently in P6 ahead of JHT. That's John Heaven Terry in the Haas, teaming up with Dan Morris. He's currently sat in the pit lane. Wesker then P8 in the Ferrari that he shares Ferrari with Anwar this season. As Dutch Tricks meanwhile has just popped himself back onto provisional pole. 42.3, the lap time starting to tumble now. Is the track perhaps drying up a little? Is there a bit more grip out there, or is it just the drivers finding their feet? We shall see. Tom on the order, and P9 is his teammate. That's Tom Duval currently there in the second of the Alphas, and then Sway filling in for Dylan this week at Aston Martin, and he will take over the Mercedes of Funky Chicken from next week, who unfortunately might miss quite a few races this season due to work, so stepping down to reserve. Hopefully we will get to see him again on track this season. Dan Morris finds himself P11. Scuba down in P12 at the moment, not quite got into the groove yet. Season 14 champ. Teammate to CR7. And we've got Funky Fox, so the two Funkies currently together on the timesheets 13th and 14th. He is in the full-time McLaren this season, with Funky Chicken just behind him in the Mercedes, and we've got Corby in P15 in the second of the Alphas, Astons, sorry, not Alphas. Graham in P16 in the second of the Alpines, and we're currently on track then in the Ferrari. Evil Chris unfortunately has retired in the Williams, and then we've got Carwin Rob yet to get a decent lap time on the board. In the second of the Red Bulls, he teams up with the reigning champ Tico this season, so showed some promising speed in pre-season. Matched his teammate last time out in Mexico, so expecting him to be there or thereabouts this season. Not quite got his eye in the wet yet. Let's see how he gets on this lap. He's heading down the back straight now. There'll be a checkpoint, I believe, just at the end. It's just after the left hand at the end of the straight, so we'll stay on board, see where he's up to time wise. Comes down, braking down all the way to second gear. Bit of a twitch again, the car trying to get away from it. He's 6 seconds up, nearly 7 seconds up then, so this will be a much improved lap time. However, I still think he is quite a little bit away from where the rest of the field currently find themselves, so not enjoying these wet conditions so far. Around the multi-apex right-hander. Is he going to find some more? Oh, he's a little bit wide there. Brave man attacking the curbs in these conditions. In fact, he peels off into the pits. So we'll pick up Yarman again then. He currently finds himself third. In fact, he's just jumped back ahead of Tico, who, having been on provisional pole, is now back down in P4. If we got coming up to the line then, we've got, I believe that might be Tom Duval. Coming up the final corner, it is. Currently in P9. Behind him here's JHT. Coming around then to the final corner. A little bit of a slide. How does he improve? He does by 1.9 seconds there, so that can't be right, surely. He would have jumped massive places. Oh god, this game's going wrong already. What should happen there? Why have you done that to me? God, right. Tico then starts another flying lap. Fox is on the back straight. Graham coming across the line. Lynx then pops himself up to P4. So Tico getting shuffled down the order here. Lap time starting to fall. That's now 5 drivers under 1 minute 43. Right then, let's get into the chat and see who is about. Of course, the legend, the man, the myth that is Mr. Goykarp. Good evening, Mr. Goykarp. Team Andwart for him. So his man currently P12. sure if it's a dry race, and he will be picking his way forward in the stealthy way that he does. Also, Felice in the chat as well. Eyes on the rain. Yep, rain for the first race of the season. Not going to start it easy for our Div 1 boys. D. Smith giving a shout out to Goy. Evening Iggy as well. Pagani in the chat. Praying it doesn't rain tomorrow for Div 2. Of course, we are here tomorrow with Div 2 as well. So will we see another wet race, another wet quali? Will it be a dry session? Tune in at 8 o'clock tomorrow and find out, please. Evening Fever. Evening Aaron. Evening T. Smith. So, where are we currently up to then? Who is where on track? Got yellow flag in sector 3. People just getting back to the pits then, which means I can't see how long left. Because it is covering the timer, which is really useful, Codemasters. Why would you do that to me? Now, 1 second. I've just realised once again I'm in the lobby and not sure if people can just hear me gabbering on. So I'm just going to jump into a party. Just in case. There we go. Right. Should be sorted out. So then, if the PlayStation symbol would have moved, we've got just over a minute to go then. So we have got 18 of 19 cars on track. As Oxox goes back to the top of the timesheets, a 42.0, nearly into the 41s. The track seems to be coming to the drivers then. It does look a little bit brighter. So Oxox has laid down a marker. Where is Dutch Tricks? He's on the back straight. Who's coming around the final corner? We've got one of the Hazes, which is JHT. He goes up to P7. And just behind him is his teammate. He's currently down in P15. He too is looking like he's going to make a big improvement on this lap. So Lynx has called it quits at a 42.6. He's currently P4. Dan Morris jumps up to P13. Here come the Red Bulls. Deco just ahead of his teammate. Deco goes third. Carl and Rob just starting a flying lap. Behind them we've got... Who's that coming across the line? Was that... Somebody moved? I can't tell who's who. Where's Dutch? Is that Dutch going at the final corner? Dutch back to the top, into the 41 to 41.9. The Ferrari's coming across the line then. Wesker goes up to P8. We've got one of McLaren's around. That must be Funky Fox. He has invalidated his lap, unfortunately. Behind him is Funky Chicken. He too has invalidated his lap. Oh, big twitch, big twitch. Oh, catches the wall. Goes for a spin. Here goes the nose. However, his lap was invalidated anyway, but if he wanted to do another run, he's not now going to get a chance. Tom Duval coming up to the scene of that accident. Around the final corner. Can he improve on P11? He can. He goes 6th. A great lap there from him. Oxox into the pits. He's currently on the front row provisionally. JHT at the final corner. Can he improve again? Oh, Twitch is on the curve up to P7. Into the wall as he crosses the line. Gets his lap time in though. So the conditions catching drivers out left, right and centre here. As they try and find those. Oh, Dan's on the curve as well. Big save. And he crosses the line. He doesn't improve in the end. Lost some time in that final sector. Then here come the Red Bulls. It's Tico at the final corner. Does he improve? He does not. Behind him his teammate. Kai Rob goes up to P12. CL7 goes P4. Dutch crosses the line. Doesn't. Oh, he does improve. No, he doesn't. Oh, why is it telling me he's improved? Here come the Ferraris again. Wesker goes up to P8. Andoir stays P12. Just like Yarman, who has invalidated his lap. In fact, he's got no nose, that'll be why. So there we have it then. First point of the season for the first pole goes to Mr. Dutch Tricks. Once again, onto pole a 1:41.9. The only driver to get under the 1:42s. The track seemingly drying up a little bit for the drivers there towards the end. And he snatches the first pole position of season 17. He's joined on the front row by the ever-exciting Ox with Tico and CR7 tucked in behind Yarman in P5. In the Williams. And there we have it then. Look at how close some of those times are. We've got second to 10th in the 42s in the end. There's a Scuba into the 42s, but only P10. Sway starting 11th. And there we have it then. That is the first qualifying of season 17 done. Dutch Tricks takes the first pole. He's joined in on the front row by Ox with Tico in third. CR7 is fourth. Yarman in fifth. And Lynx starts P6. Tom Duval in seventh. Wesker is eighth. JHT is ninth. And Scuba rounding out the top 10. And then in 11th we've got Sway. Andwar starts P12. Carwin Rob in 13. Dan Morris P14. Funky Fox P15. Callboy is P16. Funky Chicken, back to his German roots this week, is P17. Graham starts P18. Evil Chris, who got a lap in but then crashed out early on, starts P19. And JHT has a 5 place penalty. Just spotted there the Hazman, so he will be starting P14. The fact that Aaron, Pagani and Tom aren't in Div 1 makes me scared of these guys. Well, Aaron definitely has the pace to be here. Tom is on his wheel, so he's lost a little bit of pace. And Pagani could also flit around in either division. But he's probably too good for Div 2. And can't challenge the front runners in Div 1, but can definitely get into the mid-pack on his day. So we need to go back to 3 divisions again, where there was a 1, 2 and a 3. And Div 2 maybe was exactly where he needed to be. You're not shit at F1, Pagani, shit. Quit your jibber jabber. Well, a wet qualifying is followed by a dry race. So, how much compromising did the drivers do in terms of their setup for qualifying? If it was a dry race, they would have seen. So, might explain. So they're all smurfing. Yes, see now. Yes. Well, you say that, but the quality of some of the drivers at the front of Div 2 are probably would hold their own quite easily in Div 1. So is what it is. And here we go then. Our first sighting lap of season 17. And leading him up the hill is Mr. Dutch Tricks in his Alfa Romeo. Currently leads the championship on 1 whole point. Everybody else yet to score. P2 then is Ox. In third is the reigning champ Tico. And let's get the tyre information up before we go any further. See who is starting on what. The pole sitter starting on the medium tyres. Alongside him though, Ox in the Alpine starting on the softs. Always aggressive is Ox. Expect to see some fireworks from him on the opening couple of laps. The pit stop strategy coming up there. Predicting a 2-stopper. Soft, medium, or soft, hard. Tico starts third. He is on the medium tyre, as is CR7, who starts P4. Interestingly, Yarman starting P5 is on the hards. So he's going to be running very long. What will he do with his strategy? Lynx starts P6. He starts on the medium tyres. And then, as ever, Tom Duval going aggressive early on. He's on the softs in his Alfa Romeo. Wesker joining him on the softs in P8 in the Ferrari. And then rounding at the top, then we've got Scuba and Sway, both of them starting on their medium tyres. P11 is Andwar, starts on the medium as well, as does Carwin Rob in the second of the Red Bulls. And Dan Morris in the second has also starts on the medium. His teammate now just behind him after that grid penalty, starting on the softs. He's gone aggressive for the first stint. Funky Fox starts on the mediums. Callboy is on the hards. Funky Chicken is on the mediums. Graham starts on the hards as well. And Evil Chris with all to do from the back of the grid. But he's going to go aggressive. He's starting on the soft tyres. So, 28 laps ahead of us. Let's get some predictions in. Who do we think is going to win this one? Who's going to join them on the podium? And yeah, any random predictions for the race? My money is going to be on Mr. Dutch Tricks for the win. I think Tico will join him in second, and I think Ox will get third. I think Tico will jump him, but we shall see. There's my predictions. My cards are on the table. Let's see how right or wrong I am. The Alfa Romeo pulls up to his grid spot. Unsafe aim with Dutch. Tico for 1-2. I think he is putting his money on Tico because he doesn't know anybody. That's fair enough. And we await the lights. So all the drivers are on the grid. The lights are on. We've got 5 red lights. And season 17 is... the graphics wrong. Go! And away we go. And Ox gets a lightning start on the inside on those soft tyres as expected. The drivers fanning out as they try and find room. Tico up the inside of his team. Oh, there's contact between Dutch and Tico. Tico is round. Half round. He saves it. But that's cost him 5 or 6 places already as they plummet down the hill for the first time. Ox got the slingshot. And got the Wordsley. Try words. Oh, Wesker's gone. Wesker's gone on the opening lap. So the Ferrari man who was in the middle of the pack has lost it in the S's section and is in the wall, and he is out. And we have... do we have a safety car? Do we have a virtual safety car? Is it just yellow flags? It's currently just yellow flags. Ox then with the jump, and he leads by 1.1 seconds already. He's had a storming start then. Dutch is second, CR7 up to third. With Lynx now fourth, the Armour fifth, Tico down to sixth. Did he get any wing damage in that contact? See if we can have a look at his wing as he comes down to the break. So 3 wide in the background. Scuba on Tom Duval. Around the outside goes Scuba, tucking in behind him is Sway. Scuba's on the outside, but he's now got the inside for the next corner. Takes a tight line, parks it on the apex. Oh, round has gone. Who is that? That's Dan Morris, I think, gone round. One of the hazards was spun. And Tom Duval now fighting a rear guard action. There comes, who's that? That's Carwin Robb on the attack. And Tom is in. So, oh, Tom's got wing damage. So Tom has picked up some wing damage somewhere. He pits. The end of lap 1, so a couple of drivers in strife. One of those is not Ox, so he has a big lead. His lead is now 2.1 seconds. He is flying in the early going here. Big movers so far. Evil Chris up 8 places then, so those soft tyres have... and the... oh! CR7 goes straight on in the S's there. Big twitch from him. Loses just a 1 place, but yeah, he went straight on the S's. The car snapped on him as he tries to get through the faster section. Very reminiscent of Beckett's and Maggots, as I spoke about earlier. And a big moment for him. He saved it brilliantly, but that's put Lynx up onto the podium. So we're talking about the big movers, and the big movers, Evil Chris, also up 3 places is Carwin Robb. Graham's up 3 as well, as is Funky Fox. The big loser so far is Tom Duval down 10. Tico down 3. And let's get the tyre information up then and see who is doing what. Changes further back. Sway now making progress. He's up to 7th. He's got ahead of Scuba there at the end of the back straight. Carwin Robb tucked in behind them. All 3 of these drivers on the medium tyres. Tico then wounded in that first corner. Went up the inside of his fellow countryman. A bit of a gap between him and Ox and just closed on him. Does he have wing damage? Of course, with this year's game you can get very light wing damage, which you can still drive with, but it definitely affects your ability for cornering a little bit. It takes the edge off. First penalty of the new season goes to JHT. But one man untroubled up front is Ox, who just does a purple first sector. He is absolutely flying on lap 3. DRS is now active this lap. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Who is that? That is Funky Fox. He's also had a moment there through the S's. Look. Oh, it's coming into the S's, so it's the bottom of the hill. So a moment for him. Always tyres are cooked, and he's gone round again. Those tyres are currently cooked. Oh, Funky Chicken's retired in the pits, unfortunately, so his night is over as well. So 2 retirements in the opening 3 laps. It is Oxox then, who is now 3.5 seconds to the good. Oxox on those fresh soft tyres is absolutely storming away from the field at the moment. Of course, he will have to take the pain later on in the race where he has to run the medium tyres, and Dutch and Lynx and CR7 may well be on the softs and coming back at him, but for the moment he is making hay and charging away that lead now. 4 seconds. Dutch doing his best to try and keep up. At the moment Oxox is looking quite imperious. Oh, JHT has left the session. Right, I'm going to have to quickly send him an invite, so bear with me again. For some reason on this year's game, once somebody's in the lobby, you can't send them another invite, which I find really annoying. Right, done. Hopefully we'll be back with us shortly. Lynx then, having got that P3, has got the man he took it from, CR7, right on his rear wing. He's going back at him behind him. Yarman on those hard tyres has got a bit of a train forming behind him. Led by Tico. He's then got Sway, Carwin, Rob, who's now ahead of Scuba. Evil Chris on the back of that train as well. Those soft tyres working wonders. He is flying up the order in the second of the Williams. So it's a Williams at the front of this train. It is a Williams currently at the back of it, but into the DRS then we got those soft tyres. Oh, who is that making eyes at somebody ahead? I think is it Tico on Yarman? No, it is Sway looking at Tico. Tico though just doing enough. Evil Chris not quite close enough to capitalise down the straight, but as they come into the twisty section where those soft tyres will be beneficial, can he find a way through this sector? Going to go for a move up the inside. Oh, he will. Oh, sends it on Scuba. It's a big send. Bumping wheels. Oh, Scuba trying to come back over. He's now up the inside. And Chris has got the move done. It was a bit rough and ready, but he's got the move done. And Yarman at the head of this train has just picked up a penalty. The Red Bull's now really pinching in on Sway. This is a great little battle here. Yarman has managed to pull away a little bit. Sway up the inside. Is Carl Rob going to go for the double overtake into one? He is. Sway gives him room. Tico gets shuffled out. Carl Rob backs out of it in the end. Tico stays ahead, so just the one position for Sway. Carl Rob stays where he is. This is the, oh, you can see the understeer there from the Aston Martin as that final part of the S's. The car just did not want to tuck in for the final part there, so that's what the drivers are fighting this season. Oh, and a big slide on exit as well. He is pushing hard. There's been a change further up the road there for P3. CR7 is back into P3. However, he has still got Lynx right behind him in the DRS zone. Here we go again then, the DRS train down the back straight. Is he close enough this time? The answer is no, he is not. Further back, Red Bull fanning out. Tico looking to get back past Sway, but Sway's got the DRS from Yarman. Right, I've just got a message saying the internet quality is not good enough to broadcast, so please let me know if this drops out. I'll say this like I'd be able to tell. Red Bulls, look at how close the Red Bulls are together. Tico then, I kind of feel he's carrying an issue. I think he has got a little bit of damage on that front wing. It might not be serious, you can't see anything in terms of damage, but I think he must have some light green wing damage because Tico, as his teammate goes past him up into one. And it was a mistake of his own doing. He did try and send it for a gap that wasn't really there. Just hooked wheels with Dutch. Scuba getting back ahead of Evil Chris then, so Evil Chris who bullied his way through. And at the end of a lap ago, Scuba has reclaimed the position, and all this battling is letting Andoir in that Ferrari just sneak up onto the back of them. Ferrari man now is right on the back of Evil Chris. I think Chris's rhythm got ruined a little bit by that move by Scuba. He's had a scruff for a couple of corners. He's off the back of Scuba by 1.9 seconds. So yeah, Chris I think had a moment in the middle of that sector. Up ahead, that's Sway on Yarman. It is, and Sway with the DRS. He's just going to blast past down the straight. Gets the move done. Further back, Andoir has got the move done on Chris as well. I wonder if Chris just had a moment in the S's. And that let Andwar onto him, and he's now lost that position. This battle continues to rage on as well. Now Carwin Robb coming up to challenge Yarman, who, one of those hard tyres you would expect to be dropping back a little bit. Everybody around him on mediums. And TK, I think TK must have some wing damage. Must be only minor, but I would have expected him to be going forwards, not backwards. Carwin Robb in the slipstream of Yarman. He's up the inside into one. He's got more grip on those medium tyres. Yarman's got to fight, making work for it though, but off the corner. Ooh, it's close. Yarman's keeping his nose in. Carwin Robb's got the grip, and around the outside he goes. And the Red Bull man up to P6. He's had a storming start to this race then. On lap 7 he is now into the top 6. Evil Chris into the pits. Did he pick up some damage maybe? That was maybe why he was going backwards, as JHT into the pits as well. Battle for P3 rages on. Lynx has not been dropped by CR7. Still very much on his tail. They are now 2.7 behind Dutch Tricks, who is now 5.6 behind the race leader. Oxox is absolutely off and gone. The soft tyres dragging him away. As he rounds the left-hander, going around to this multi-apex right-hander. But he is doing a brilliant job in this opening stint to open himself up a gap. The question is, does he pull the mediums on for the middle stint and then finish on the softs, or does he go soft again and try and pull away and then fit the mediums at the end and risk being caught towards the end? We shall see. Battle pack further back. Sway has now got Carwin Robb on his tail. Yarman just slipping back a little bit now, as you would expect on those hard tyres. Scuba now making eyes at the back of Tico. They come up the hill. A little bit wide there. The corner allows for multiple lines through that corner. Into the pits comes Corboy. Maybe pick up some damage there because he's on the hard tyres as well. It's a bit early for what I imagine to be a scheduled pit stop. Oh, was that Yarman having a moment through the S's? I think he went off the track. He's just lost a lot of time now to Carwin Robb and Sway. I think he had a bit of a twitch there. I've seen that happen to several drivers already. Come around then to the hairpin, onto the back straight we go again. Well, he's going well so far, Dylan. But I have every faith that you can get a equally as good or even better result yet. Here we go then. Oh, in the foreground, Carwin Robb on Sway. Carwin down the inside. That's moved on. Sway's going to try and switch him back though. He'll have the outside for the left-hander if he can get the overlap though. He can't. He's now up the inside though. Carwin Robb then covers the inside for the left-hander. Sway looking left, looking right. Tries to get the punch off the corner. He's going to go around the outside of the multi-apex right-hander. We've got a yellow flag up the head. It's CR7's gone round. Out of third place again. He's been off the track. He now goes wide. Here comes Scuba and Tico. He gets out the track to let them through. And he's all the way down to P9, so out of P3 again. It was a bigger mistake this time. And now he's got it all to do over again, but he's now got a whole gaggle of cars ahead of him. Lynx is back onto the podium. Forces a mistake from CR7, who's now dropped in behind his teammate, who is still working over the back of Tico. So now Carwin Robb up to 4th. Let's look at the position change. He's up 8 now, so he's having an absolute storming drive so far. Graham up 6, Evil Chris up 4, Sway up 5. And they're the big movers. Up front though, your front 3 are now fairly untroubled. Oxox here in the foreground, cruising at 6.2 seconds ahead of the man in the background. Dutch Tricks in the Alfa Romeo. He in turn is 3.8 seconds ahead of the McLaren of Lynx, who in turn is 3.3 seconds ahead of the first of the Red Bulls. But look at this gaggle of 6. Carwin Robb managing to hold off Sway. Yarman hanging on there in P6 on those hard tyres. And they've got Tico, Scuba and CR7, and just cruising onto the back of them in the background is the Ferrari of Andwar. He's now into the top 10. Quietly going about his business as he always does. Can he pull a strong result out of the hat on this one? We shall see. Bit of a twitch there as he gets on the power. You can see that with this year's cars, they've lost a lot of rear downforce. A lot of people struggling with the rear end. I think that's a lot of what's catching people out in the S's section. Into the pits comes Tico. Into the pits comes CR7. Just saw them peeling off in the foreground. They're getting off the medium tyres early, potentially, but maybe that is the strategy. They're going to go for a double medium stint, perhaps. Or are they going to do 9 laps on the soft tyres? We shall see. Tico's going on to the hards, so he's going to the end. CR7 also onto the hard tyres, so they're going to the end. So they're going to just do the one stop. And yes, look, Tico has been jumped by CR7, so he's changed his wing. So now we're going to see Tico's real pace, but he's got a lot of work to do. He's going to come out in P14. Just behind Evil Chris, Tom Duval coming around as well. They're going to meet on the apex. Tom's got warm tyres. On mediums, he's going to get the move done as well. Ahead he goes. So Tico then all the way down to P15. Not the ideal start to his title defence. You can see there Tom a little bit wide. Struggled with understeer. Tico getting lots of curb. Maybe that was just Tico's line perhaps. Race lead. Still Ox, the gap man back under 6 seconds though. So Dutch is taking a couple of tenths out of him. Are those tyres just starting to go away a little bit? Maybe. We shall see. Ox still driving brilliantly at this stage. Going around again, so he's not pitting yet. The gap's staying about as you were. Yarman now coming back at sway. Scuba now released from behind the Red Bull. He's not got his teammate harassing him either. What can he do now? Can he put some punchy laps in, get himself into the fight? Cars ahead, and a little bit of a gap to make up now. The drivers ahead of him pulled off. Dan Morris into the top 10 in P9. His fellow Irishman Graham into the top 10 in the Alpine. And then we've got the first of the drivers who have stopped. CR7 is now P11. You can see how much time he's got over Tico because of that pit stop. The wing change he needed at his pit stop. He is P11. He's got 2 cars in between him. Funky Fox, of course, we saw have that spin earlier on. Evil Chris, who must have picked up some wing damage. He's had pit stop. He's back on the soft tyres again, though. So he's going to be quick. Those are still fresh tyres. Looking through the S's section there. He seems to, the car just seems to understeer away a little bit. Ooh, who was that going? Tom Duval taking an interesting line again through the last left-hander. Looked like he was going wide, but the car hooked back in again. As he's closing on Funky Fox, the gap is now 0.8 of a second, so we'll have DRS down the back straight. What to watch is this battle now between Yarman and Sway. Yarman now seems to be coming back at Sway, so are those medium tyres starting to just go away? Also, the gap for the lead is starting to come down. It was 6 seconds, it's now just over 5, as in comes your race leader. So Ox is in. Now, is he 1 stopping or is he 2 stopping? This pit stop will tell us. The tyres he's going on to are those mediums. They are. Onto the medium tyre. That suggests potentially a 2-stopper. We shall see. So Dutch Tricks then takes over at the head of the queue again. 11 laps on those tyres. We're on lap 12, approaching half race distance. Matt Tibble said he has no idea how Ox has managed to stabilise that gap and managed to make those tyres last for that long. Well, he does some inhuman things in that car, Ox on his day, and well, today could very well be his day. He's pitted, he's back out in P7, he's just behind Scuba. Got a bit of clear track as well, and I imagine a lot of the guys ahead of him will soon be pitting in, so they may start to get out of his way before he needs to overtake them, but we shall see. He's not got Andois on his tail either. Evil Chris making the move on Funky Fox. Further back, we've got a yellow flag. Oh, is it Andois? Oh, it was. Oh, Andois had a moment at the hairpin as he lost it as he tried to get on the power. He was on the back of Ox. He was P8. He's down to P10. So a couple of places lost there, unfortunately, for Andois. Still a long way to go in this race. Evil Chris and Funky Fox changing positions again. As Funky Fox gets back ahead of Evil Chris, and they're now being joined by Tico. who's got a new wing, so he's got his full quota of wings and flaps. He's on fresh tyres, although they are hard. Funky Fox back up the inside of Evil Chris. Those two still duking it out. And Tico looking for a way through, but these two are battling, so it's going to be difficult to find a way through. Into the pits comes Dan Morris from P8. It's Funky Fox and Evil Chris still side by side. In also comes Anwar. Evil Chris and Funky Fox still side by side at the final corner. Evil Chris gets the move done. Back into DRS zone. And Funky Fox, having been ahead, has not got DRS. He's now under attack from Tico, who goes around the outside. He's going to have the momentum off the corner, and that should be moved done. Have the inside for the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Good move from Tico up into P11. Oxhawks has very quickly latched onto the back of Scuba. DRS will be open. This should be a fairly routine move. Up ahead, Yarman making the move on Sway as well. So Yarman is now starting to make some moves as the medium tyres start to go past their best. Here's hard tyres. This could be a very, very clever strategy play from him. Of course, everybody got the free tyre choice because it rained in qualifying. Change for the back as Tico gets the move done on Evil Chris. DRS assisted. But a good move from him. Callboy now joining this battle as well. In the second of the Aston Martins. Duval not a million miles off the back of this group either. Dan, who's just pitted, is behind him. And he's just ahead of his teammate. And then Anwar is out on the soft tyres. Oxox with the fastest lap of the race since he is flying again. Sway and Yarman battling and Oxox closing in. So our former race leader, he'll be our net race leader as well. And at the moment, what he's doing is closing the gap back to Dutch, because I think he's going to have to stop again. So Oxox is going to pit again. He'll probably go back onto the softs, which would mean he will be very, very quick at the end of this race. Now, what does Dutch Tricks do? Strategy-wise, is he trying to do the one-stopper? In which case he'll go onto the hards. Sway there with a bit of a twitch. Was that a weave to let him know it's okay to pass, or was that just a twitch trying to get the car under control? It's difficult to tell in this year's game. Oxox though, already on him. DRS is wide open. Down the inside he goes. Sway has the DRS as well. Ox has just got more punch off the corner. What was the telemetry on for some reason? There we go. We'll look then at your race leader. He is 4.6 seconds ahead of Lynx. 29% battery. Now, how much longer does he make these tyres go? It suggests he's going for a one-stopper, although is he trying to get to the soft tyres perhaps? We've got 14 laps to go, so we'd have to push him a little bit harder. We've just seen Ox do, what was it, 11 laps on his, so that was from the start as well, so we shall see. We'll have 2 fresh sets to use if he can get that far. So what is Dutch Tricks doing? Carwin Rob, meanwhile, has got the hammer down. The magnets are on, and he's closing in on Lynx. So Lynx is a net P3. He's currently P2 at the moment, but a pair of them have been caught very quickly by the man who will re-inherit the lead, Oxox. Carwin Rob now within DRS range of Lynx, so he's really charging forwards. Bit of an unknown quantity so far. Had a good race last time. Didn't maybe get the strategy right in Mexico last week in the pre-season race, but was up there with his teammate. There is, in the background, Sway coming back at Yarman. He's going to the outside. Yarman covers the inside. Trying to switch back. We saw this earlier. Ooh, twitch from Yarman. That's going to let Sway get up alongside. Now, can he hang on around the outside? He'll pinch the Williams to the inside. He'll then have the inside though for the left-hander. Oh, a bit of wheel banging. Gives himself some room. Sway gets the move done. Good battling. Yarman's going to cut underneath him. Twitch from Sway as he tries to get the power. Yarman's now going to go round the outside, is he? He is. Are they going to meet on the exit? They're not. And Yarman gets back ahead. Great side-by-side action. Oh, he's picked up a penalty for his troubles there though. Just cut too much curb. Holds the inside to the final corner. Move done. Now Sway will have DRS. And all that effort Does he have DRS? Or did Yarman have it? I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure where the DRS detection line was there. I didn't see the rear wing open for some reason. Maybe it was just my eyes. Colin Robb on the back of Lynx. Oh, Scuba's gone! And a virtual safety car is out. Scuba has had an accident. Where has he gone? He's in the S's. It's in the S's again. We saw Wester go off on lap 1. And he is somewhere on the right hand side there, unfortunately. So Scuba's race comes to an end. He's been caught out in the S's section, unfortunately. Now, how long will this virtual safety car last? Because this could definitely benefit your race leader. Now, Ox seemed to have lost a little bit of time to Carwin, Robb and Lynx, but we shall see. Race leader coming around to the multi-apex right-hander. Now, could potentially be a free pit stop here. Well, a cheap pit stop, shall we say. If the VSC stays out, so does he risk it? What's he going to do? He's got to risk it, surely. He is. He's in. This race leader is in. 13 laps to go. It'll be 12 as he crosses the line. 12 laps to go. Can he get soft tyres to go 12 laps? Is that his ploy? In comes Lynx. In comes Carwin Robb. The answer is yes, he can. Or he thinks he can. Dutch Tricks is going on to the soft tyre. And he's going to be helped massively by this VSC because Oxox is not going to clear away as much as he might have done. Yarman has carried on. Interestingly. So we're back racing again. So that might have hurt Yarman, in fact. Ox is only 7 seconds back on Dutch. I'd be surprised if Dutch manages to gain that time back. Well, having pitted, he's now only 7 seconds behind Ox. So Ox, I feel Ox is now going to have to go to the end on those medium tyres. If that wasn't already a strategy. 15 laps is probably doable, considering it is the less fuel load. We've just seen Dutch do that many laps, so maybe Ox has pitted and that is it. We shall see. This could be a very interesting end for the lead here. Dutch on fresh softs, Ox on fairly fresh mediums. They've only got a couple of laps on them. Are we going to see a grandstand finish here? I think Ox did not want that VSC. No, he could have done with the ending before Dutch got to the pit lane. That's for sure. Either way, he is back now in the lead of the race. What does Yarman do? Yarman then having... He's missed his window there, I think, a little bit. I think he should have pitted under that safety VSC. This is the battle to watch as well. This is for the, well, potentially the final step on the podium. Lynx and Carwin Robb going ahead at CR7, now back up to P6. Tico's only up to P9. Graham's in the pits though, so Graham now getting off his hard tyres. Another one who maybe could have benefited from pitting under the VSC. Goes on to the soft, so maybe it is a one-stop strategy here. And soft and medium, or soft and hard, can they go it? Carwin Robb picks up a penalty. That could be critical in this battle for the podium. Lynx has now got a little bit of breathing. Funky Fox sets the fastest lap of the race, the McLaren man then. The 32.4. Dutch Tricks is on Yarman. He's got the DRS. Yarman on 17 lap old hard tyres. Dutch blast pass up into P2. That was a very dusty pit lane, yes. Well, I mean, Texas is a fairly dusty state, so... So then the gap for the lead is 4.1 seconds. Dutch Tricks is still on his first lap on those tyres as well. He is going to be flying. There is the target in the distance going around the final corner. Oxox gap is 3.8. He will be cursing. Yarman pits finally. Alfa Romeo sets the fastest lap of the race. Dutch Tricks to 31.8. He is now chewing into that lead. Starts closing. Carl and Rob now closing back in on links then, so these two now battling over P3, but Carl and Rob just picked up that penalty. Now we need to try and force a mistake out of links and either get ahead and pull away or try and get links to get a penalty as well. Through the S's, links had a little bit of a twitch there. You can see links had a moment through the S's as well. That series of corners is catching a lot of people out tonight. It's caused 2 retirements. You've seen a couple of people off. This is a great battle between these two. Further back we've got Graham and Funky Fox. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Who is that? That is Cowboy. Has gone off on the and a full safety car. Now that is something Ox definitely didn't want. So, a full safety car on lap 19 of 28. As the Aston Martin retires. Now, what does Ox do here? Is he going to pit for softs and go aggressive? He is. He's going to make a move. Where's he going to drop to? Because obviously everybody under the safety car. He might even get out in P2 here. It's going to be close. This is a bold call, but I think it's a right call from Ox. Because he had such a tyre disadvantage. And I think Kai Rob's in. So Lynx will probably go through into P2, does he? He does, just gets ahead of Ox, who's still trundling down pit lane, but Ox will get out in P3. He does. Sway will be P4. You can see a lot of the drivers further back here. It makes so much sense now to just go for fresh tyres and be aggressive, even though everybody's going to do it. So in comes CR7, in comes Tico, in comes Dan. Funky Fox is not long pitted, so he carries on. Oh, sorry, Funky Fox is in, but Graham has just gone through. All the drivers at the back then taking this opportunity to get some fresh tyres on. Evil Chris, Tom Duval, yep, all of them in. Andoir's in. Oh, and Evil Chris has got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, JHT's retired. Is that the final corner? So the Hasman unfortunately has retired. Yeah, Pagani making the point there that imagine if the qualifying had been dry, they wouldn't have all these spare tyres, and this decision to pit now might have been very, very different. You want to check penalties, okie dokie. Let's have a look. Race director. So, who has got what? Lots of warnings. So, JHT had a penalty, but he is now retired, unfortunately. Tom Duval has 3 seconds. Yarman has 3 seconds. Dan Morris has 3 seconds. Sway has 3 seconds. Evil Chris has another 3 seconds. Trundled out. JHT had another 3 seconds. Unfortunately, he is now out. Evil Chris with another 3. Yarman with another 3, so that's 6 for him. Carwin Rob with 3, as we saw him pick them up. And Evil Chris just picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. However, he might take this opportunity to just trundle through the pits, because he can serve his penalty, I believe, under the safety car. If he's got fresh tyres to take, that is. He might not want to. We shall see. 5 down, 10 to go to match Div 2, yes. Let's just say that the Div 2 race last week, the last pre-season event, was a little bit of a catastrophe. Evil Chris is in, so he is going to get rid of that 5 seconds. So the top 3 on track: Dutch, Lynx and Ox. No penalties to their name. Sway has 3, Carwin Rob has 3, Yarman has 6 seconds behind them. And you've got CR7 with none, Graham obviously with none, Tico with none, Dan Morris has 3 seconds, Funky Fox and Andoir are penalty 3, Tom Duval has 1 penalty, and Evil Chris, who's gone onto the medium tyre, has 2 penalties to his name. So we have had 5 retirements tonight. Wesker crashed out in the S's on lap 1. Funky Chicken in the pits earlier, I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Scuba crashed on the S's section as well. Callboy just crashed at the exit of the final sort of technical sector of the track, that left-hander. It's very easy to drop it onto traction there, and I think that's what's happened to Callboy. And then JHT seemed to crash at the final corner. Did he either spin out the final corner, or has he maybe gone for the pit lane and do what Yarman almost did in qualifying and spear into the wall? We may never know. He may want to keep that to himself. Safety cars that breed safety cars, they do indeed. And we're on now lap 21 of 28, so safety car in this lap, so it's a late call there. So Dutch will now let the safety car pull away. In fact, no, they're not quite where I thought they were. I thought they were coming around the multi-apex right-hander at the end of the lap, but no, that is there. So the safety car starts to pull away. Dutch Tricks takes over. He's now got links, he's got Oxox right up behind him. When does he pull the trigger? Oxox on slightly fresher tyres, but I think everybody will be fine to the end now. They're only on 3-lap old tyres. They've now had a couple of laps under the safety car as well. So when does Dutch pull the trigger? Is Lynx on his toes to go with him? Oxox is looking racy. Look at him already trying to get alongside. Dutch has gone. He's caught Lynx a little bit there. He's got himself a couple of car lengths. There's a good gap. Oxox right on the back of Lynx as they come at the final corner. A couple of twitches further back. Carwin Rob though on his toes on Sway. The run up to turn 1. Is he going to go for the inside? He is. He's up the inside. Going for P4. Will Sway hang on around the outside? The answer is no. Carwin Rob is through. So good move there. And away we go. Dutch Tricks has got a second in the pocket already. Tom Duval gets a penalty then as they go through the S's. So he's now level with Evil Chris behind him. On 2. Dutch has got himself a second lead. There'll be no DRS for a couple of laps after a safety car. So he needs to get the hammer down and try and pull away and maintain that gap when the DRS does become active again. Watch for Oxox. Colin Rob looking racy as well though. He's already trying to get onto the back of the Oxox. The background CR7 on Yarman. Not quite close enough. We've got the McLaren to the inside. That's Funky Fox on Dan Morris. They're going to meet the apex. Oh, they touch. A little bit of lag there as well. Cool, cuts across the nose of Andor. Oh, big send from Funky Fox. Dan though rides around on the outside. Tom and Andy getting side by side as behind them as well. Great battle going on here. Funky Fox trying to check to the inside. Dan comes across the nose. Now Andor trying to buy into this as well. A little bit of lag there from the McLaren. Hopefully it's not off-putting the drivers around too much. He's now got right under the rear wing there as they go up the start finish straight to the inside. Change for P2. Oxox is back ahead. So you watch this battle further back. Funky Fox up the inside. Dan's going to try and go round the outside though. Funky Fox puts a squeeze on. Dan holds the inside for the right-hander though, but Funky Fox is on the outside and he gets the move done. Great battling. We need to go back up to P2 then. Dutch Tricks' lead has been halved and Oxox is now on the charge. And you know Oxox is going to go for this. On lap 23 of 28, we've got 6 laps to go, including the one that we're on. It's going to be a spicy then. We've got the top 8 in a train, and then Graham's lost a little bit of time, and then it's thrown from Graham down to Evil Chris. So 2 trains. No DRS on this lap. It will be reactivated on lap 24. So next time around. And Ox is right on the back of Dutch Tricks. Further back, Andor gets the move done on Dan. Oh, CR7 on Sway. Oh, sorry, it's Yarman on Sway. Sway cuts across, bit of contact. Around the corner they go. Yarman trying to buy back into this Tico on the back of this train. Can he make any progress? Look at the battle for the lead. Oxox is right on Dutch. And Colin Rob is right on Lynx. So those two have resumed their battle. This is the battle we thought we might see for the lead. We thought it was going to be Dutch catching Ox on his used mediums? The answer is now. Both of them are on fresh softs. DRS is active this time around. Lynx held off Carwin Rob into one as well. Sway still got Yarman right behind him. CR7 and Tico tucked in as well. So many great little battles going on. The top two are out of DRS range. The Lynx might be vulnerable to Carwin Rob unless he can get back in DRS range before the detection line, which they are coming up to. The gap is over a second. Oh, it's back down to a second now. Oh, it's just over. Carwin Rob's already making the move though. Up the inside into the hairpin. Gets the move done. He'll have DRS as well because he was behind Lynx. But the battle for the lead is the one we need to watch. Here comes Ox. The DRS is open to the inside. Dutch doesn't fight it. He knows there's no point. Still time to make this back. Through goes Ox. Oh, it's all kicking off back here. Sway now under attack from CR7 this time. He's going around the outside. Oh, what a move from CR7. Gets it done. Here comes Tico. I'm trying to buy into this as well. Sway then just fighting a rearguard action at the moment. Every bit of fresh off, just going hell for leather. And look at Ox. He's pulled 0.8 of a second already. Ox is absolutely flying. In fact, now Carwin Rob is closer to Dutch. Dutch has got DRS, so he just stayed within a second. A little further back, Tico on Sway. Up the inside into one. That's a nice move from Tico. Tidy move. And through he goes. Lynx has now got Yarman on the back of him. He's not been able to hold on to Carwin Rob. However, of course, he doesn't have any penalties. Carwin Rob does, so he just needs to stay within 3 seconds. Oh, Sway and Tico. What's happened there? CR7 lost the place. Sway's actually got back ahead of CR7 there, so not quite sure what happened there. And suddenly Funky Fox is now back into this battle as well. So the McLaren man is now in the mix as well. It's going on for the lead. Ox has got enough of a lead. Look, he's not under pressure in the braking zone. Carwin Rob is now starting to apply pressure to Dutch as well. So Dutch has got a car on his rear wing. So he's not just looking forwards. Lynx has just about fended off Yarman for now. And now Yarman's looking backwards at Sway. So drivers have gone from being attacking to defending. Tico and Funky Fox on the attack. Funky Fox around the outside, contact. He's up the inside though, and that's a move for Funky Fox, and through he goes to P8. And now Anwar buying in. Oh, has Tico got more wing damage? He's wide. Has Tico got more wing damage? Has he had more contact somewhere? Because he's running wide a lot. That's very unlikely. Into the pits comes Yarman. Oh, Yarman's pitting. Has he had wing damage? He must have had wing damage. Oh, what a shame for him. Yeah, there's a front wing going on. Tico and Andor now battling as well. Tico is struggling. I think he must have picked up some more light wing damage somewhere. Graham's on the back of this train now, so is Dan. His train's just ramping up again. CR7 at the head of it. Has he picked up wing damage? I think he's missing an end plate. He is. So CR7 is backing this pack up because he's got damage. Funky Fox up to P6. So the McLaren's now 4th and 6th. They're going great guns. Could change for P2. Carwin Rob has got ahead of Dutch. And Ox is out of DRS range. Now Carwin Rob knows that he's got a penalty, so he's going to drop back behind Dutch. Dutch doesn't need to send this, but he'll want the win. Well, it's all going off at the end here. So race leader is Ox. He's now 1.2 seconds ahead. We're going to start the penultimate lap as they come round this time. We're going on. CR7 still in P7, still holding off this train. Tico is 8th, Graham is 9th, Dan is 10th, Tom Duval is 11th. What's happened to Anwar? Well, he's at the back of the pack suddenly. Has Anwar been off somewhere? Well, he must have been, because he was on the back of Tico a second ago. Oh, Graham on Tico. Oh, Tico holds on around the outside. Graham's now slow. The two wide. Here comes Dan, here comes Tom Duval as well. Dan's going to get boxed in. He's kind of alongside Graham, who's up the inside of Tico to 1. Oh, he just misses the back of CR7, who's so slow. 3 wide coming down the hill. This isn't going to end well. It's Tom Duval on the outside. He's going brave. He's going to get them both. Oh, what a move from Tom Duval. I mean, I'm still amazed that they all got round that, to be honest, more than anything. But what a move from Tom Duval. He's now got CR7 already. CR7 is struggling, got wing damage. Drops back ahead of Graham, but Graham, you feel it's only going to be a matter of time before he gets the move done. They're coming into the DRS zone now. Up for the lead, Carwin Robb is into DRS range. But he's still got that penalty. They've dropped Dutch Tricks. Dutch Tricks is now 1.8 seconds back, so Dutch has got no response. So the battle for the lead, CR7. Oh, and here comes Graham on Tom Duval. They're side by side through the corners. Action absolutely everywhere. Further back here, Chris and Anwar are side by side as well. Tico now and Dan Morris battling. Dan up the inside, he's got the inside now for the right-hander. He'll get the move done. Tico must have wing damage again. Evil Chris up the inside. He gets the move done. Yeah, Tico is wide, left, right and centre here. It's not like him at all. He must have picked up light wing. I can see both his end plates. He must have just got light wing damage again. And you can just see our driver, who's normally so precise, is just running wide. Corner after corner. And he's just dropped to the back of this pack now. Back just ahead of Andy. CR7 is still in this battle with that wing. No, he's got no end plate on the right hand side. Look, he is so slow through this section. Oh, wide there goes. Who was that? It was Evil Chris. Dan now stuck behind the slow AlphaTauri. Oh, Evil Chris has got another penalty. AlphaTauri is so slow through the corners. Evil Chris is going to try and get the other side of Dan here. Dan's looking to make a move on CR7. Surely into the hairpin. Surely change for the lead. Carwin Robb takes the lead on the final lap. But he's got a penalty. Ox doesn't need to do anything. Dutch is now 3 seconds away. Dutch has just had no response in this final part of the race. So Carwin Robb takes the lead on track from Ox, but Ox just needs to focus on the fact that he has a penalty. He will jump him at the flag. It will probably irk him slightly that he's not going to win it on track. He has been outstanding today. But out of the final corner, Carwin Robb will win on the road. It's been a brilliant drive from him as well. He crosses the line first, but Ox will jump him on penalties. Is he going to hang on for P2 though? He is. P2 for Carwin Robb. Dutch is third. Lynx comes home fourth. Sway is jumped by Funky Fox. McLaren's fourth and fifth. Sway is sixth. Tom Duval at the final corner for seventh on the road, but Graham's definitely going to jump him and Sway. Graham goes P6. Sway 7. Dan Morris is 8. Tico now jumps up to 8th despite his dropping down the order. Dan finishes 9th. Tom Duval 10th. CR7 with that wing damage late on held on for P11. Wow. Wow. Graham driver of the day, and rightly so I believe. However, his teammate is the one who's won. What a week it has been. Try and pick up all that, but it is Ox who takes the first win of season 17, and what a drive it has been from him. I thought perhaps it got away from him when that safety car, virtual safety car came out, but he made it work. Carwin Robb takes a brilliant PT on his official FTRL debut. And Dutch Tricks, pole sitter, race leader, had that race to lose, and he lost it, unfortunately. It's just P3 for him in the opening week, but still fantastic effort from him. So Ox is your winner from second. He has been outstanding all race long. Carwin Robb comes home in P2. Dutch Tricks is third. Lynx is P4. Funky Fox, having spun early on, comes home P5. What a drive from him. Graham, as ever, just climbs up the order there with no penalties. Also great driving from him at the end there for P6. Sway's P7. Tico comes home P8. Just wing damage, I think, has cost him a couple of times in that race. The first one we saw, we don't know what happened second time. Dan Morris P9, Tom Duval P10, CR7 P11 with that wing damage. He was hanging on the end. P12 for Anwar. Evil Chris is 13th, and the final finisher was Jarman in 14th. After that late pit stop with JHT, Cowboy Scuba, Funky Chicken and Wesker the retirements. And breathe. And breathe. Wow, Div 1 does not disappoint on its return. It's been a long time in coming while we waited for the new game, and that was an absolute firecracker of an opening race. Well, what a drive from Ox. He went aggressive early on, started on the soft tyres. I thought maybe he was going to do the two-stopper. The safety car maybe changed that, or the virtual safety car maybe changed that. Then it looked like Dutch was going to be winning that one, closing in rapidly. Safety car came out. Ox took the opportunity to get fresh softs on, and I think it was the right choice. I think that was a fully vindicated, especially with the track position not being key here. Lots of good overtake opportunities, and Ox making the moves. Carwin Rob though, what a drive from him as well. Outstanding effort from him. Came down, where did he start? He was like 13th, wasn't he, on the grid, I think, so he was a long way down at the start. Grabs a P2, he showed fantastic pace last week, and he really came alive in this one. Getting through the chaos of the first couple of corners. What a drive from him. Dutch tricks, well, put it on pole. It looked like the race had swung back to him with that pit stop under the virtual safety car. But at the end there, just Carwin Rob and Ox just had a little bit too much for him. Maybe maybe he should have pitted for the tyres at the end there. He would have come out P2 behind Lynx, wouldn't? No, was it Lynx? Yeah, it was Lynx he was behind, so if he had pitted he might have encouraged Lynx to come in. Was that the difference? Was those 3 laps he did on those tyres compared to Ox, and that what made all of that possible? So Mattman in the chat there. I was just thinking earlier, this was one race where I didn't think Gran was going to pick up many places for penalties. Wrongo. Yes, you were. Graham, once again, outstanding effort from him. He is the cleanest driver I've ever known. I think in the 2 seasons he's done in FTRL, I can only think of one race where he's had a penalty, which is just absolutely incredible. And he's not a slow driver, really. He might complain that he say that he's slow. He is definitely not slow. He holds his own in Div 1. Maybe he's not the very pointy end of this thing, but he is right on that group behind them. And that was a just reward for him there. A great effort from him. Some good moves in that final part of that race. So yeah, there we have it then. Div 1 alive and running. And what a race it is. And the best thing is, we get to do all this again tomorrow with the Div 2 lot. And it's probably going to be even more chaotic. There's going to be more drama, more spins, more crashes, more safety cars, more VSCs, more tyre calls. Who knows what is going to happen. Please join me at 8 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to do this all again. And I might not have any voice by the end of tomorrow if this one was anything to go by. Thank you very much for joining me as ever. Much appreciated for all the love in the stream. If you haven't already liked the stream before you go, please do so. That helps us out immensely. Of course, we are back tomorrow for Div 2 on F1, and on Thursday we are back with a GT Sport GT14. It is week 5 or 6. One or the other. Might be 6 now. I'm gonna go 5. Anyway, we're back on Thursday with GT14. We are at Kyoto Yamagiwa this week for 3 races, 20 minutes. Lots of action to look forward to there as well. But for this evening, from me, this is the end. Thank you very much for joining us as ever. Once again, thank you for everybody for joining the stream. If you'd like to get involved in FTRL in any way, shape or form, please do contact us on Twitter at @_FTRL_. We are always looking for new people to join our F1 leagues. We've got ACC League, we've got GT Sport Leagues, we've also got a Golf Society. Lots going on at FTRL, special events occasionally get thrown around. We do sumos on GTA. This is a barrel of laughs, so please, if you would like to get involved, please do. Before this evening, I'm going to go put my feet up and get a drink and try and take in what just happened, because that was an absolute cracker. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you again real soon.